is not the Hell House. Now, as mentioned previously in the video before, this is not the Hell House. This here is the Hell House. So just to nip this in the bud real quick, this house was not even brought up by anyone or any of my research other than people online calling this the Hell House. Now, the only thing I can find worth mentioning is that Guns N' Roses took a photo in front of a window on the porch at this house. So clearly they knew somebody here. It was probably a crash pad for a lot of them because they didn't have places to stay. But other than them taking a photo, a couple of photos, a few photos in front of this house, it doesn't seem like it's that significant to the lore of Guns N' Roses. Going by Slash's book, let's go over why I'm fairly certain this is the Hell House. In his book, it says it's just south of Sunset on Poinsettia. He also said that it was the second to the last structure on the block. It was also a house surrounded by apartment buildings. The house had 3 bedrooms along one end from the front to the back, meaning the front of the house was not very wide. The house from the front to the back was a long house, which fits the description of this place. Another description he gives is the lawn sloped up so that it looked like it was on the hill. Now, this was circa 1986, so it looks like since then they have taken out the lawn. The house definitely looks like it's kind of on a hill. Now, the Hell House wasn't mentioned until well after the practice space, the place that a lot of people are calling the Hell House now. Slash and Izzy and Steve were not really addicted to heroin until around the time they were signed with Griffin Records. This is roughly around 1986-ish. And it was around that time that Slash starts talking about the Hell House. Now, Slash and everybody had a little bit of money up front after being signed, so they all had their money. But about this time, Slash kind of burns through his money. A lot of the guys burn through their money due to their addiction to drugs. The Hell House was a place that Slash was a permanent resident for a while. And according to him in his book, that he was the only one that was a permanent resident. Having said that, a lot of the other band members also stayed the night there. I guess I should probably mention at this time that Axl and Duff were not addicted to heroin like Izzy, Slash, and Steven. Duff mentions in his book that he was on the road to being addicted, but after he has witnessed so many good friends of his dying from overdosing, he quit. There's a house here that's surrounded by apartments, but I can't say that this is it. Now, I have some notes on my phone, and it says Slash says that the Hell House was rented by Wes Arkeen and a bunch of his Harley Davidson friends. Now, Wes Arkeen was kind of thought of as the 6th member of Guns N' Roses. He helped them write a lot of their songs, including It's So Easy. He was also a guy that helped them out a lot with money and places to stay. Slash always says he never understood how he got money, but he always seemed to have money. Now, it was called the Hell House because it was pretty much open for anything you wanted to do. Basically, if you wanted to find a spot on the floor in the kitchen, you could find a spot on the floor in the kitchen and do drugs. If you wanted to sleep on the couch, you could sleep on the couch. If you wanted to get it on with somebody, you could also do that. Everything was open for you to do anything except for a few rooms. He mentions that there's a room at the back of the house where one of the biker guys and his wife lived, and that was a place you did not enter. And apparently even Wes never entered that place. There was another room that was set up as a recording studio. Now, This is at the end of this block here, about the second or third structure. This is the only place I could come to the conclusion that could be the Hell House. So possible Hell House, everybody. Now, this is a possible contender for the Hell House. It's an empty lot now. You know, this happened in, like I said, multiple times, 1986. So I don't know, maybe they tore down the house. Now it is surrounded by apartments like Slash described. But the one thing that Slash described is that it was at the end of the block, like the second structure near the end of the block, which makes the other house more of a contender. Whatever, I don't know. It's still a little bit of a mystery. All I know is a Hell House is over here off of Sunset down Poinsettia Place. Now right behind me here is a barbed wire fence gate, very heavy duty gate, but behind this gate here is also some kind of clinic of some sort for adults. But back in 1986, this used to be a recording studio.
The Rumbo Studio in Los Angeles, Canoga Park, opened in 1979 and was built and owned by H3ll Dragon, the captain from the musical duo Captain and H3ll.
This is where Guns N' Roses would come out and record one of my favorite rock albums, Appetite for Destruction. Now, Appetite for Destruction came out in the summer of 1987. However, the album did not really take off for just about a whole year. In fact, one of my favorite stories, I want to say I heard it from Slash, that the whole band was sitting on a tour bus, beat down and tired, and Duff gets on the bus and tells everybody, "Welcome to the Jungle is at #1. Welcome to the Jungle." And I remember seeing that on MTV. Remember MTV, kids? Remember that? But when Sweet Child O' Mine came out, when that became a single and that became a hit, that actually surprised the whole band. They never thought that Sweet Child O' Mine was the song that would do it, but that's the song that blew that album up, Appetite for Destruction. That's the song, gained them a big audience, and that album topped #1 for quite some time. Now, even though they recorded most of Appetite for Destruction right behind me, Slash was not happy with his guitar sound. He wasn't happy with any of it. He didn't like his setup. So he actually recorded all the guitar parts over again at another studio. And we're gonna head over there right now. Let's go check that studio, which is no longer a studio, but let's go. But first, if you wanted to come out and check out what used to be Rumble Records, it's at 20215 Satakoy Street here in Los Angeles. Just for the record, even though this is Los Angeles, it's also known as Canoga Park, and it's part of the Valley. All right, now we're on Glenwood Place. We're in Burbank, California, and right behind me here is where a studio by the name of Take One used to be. This is where Slash would go to re-record his guitar parts for Appetite for Destruction. Now, he was not happy with the sound of his guitar. He wasn't happy with the sound of the amp, and so he kind of arranged to get better equipment with Geffen Records. They obliged and got him all the stuff that he needed, because of course they want to make the money off of this album. So after he got all that, this is where he would go. Take One Studio. Now, if you wanted to check this place out, it is 619 Glenwood Place, Burbank, California. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching part 4. If you haven't seen any of the other parts, here's part 1. And if you wanted to check out the whole length of video, check it out right over here. Have a good one.